For this video I'm using the Pixel Adventure asset pack. You can download it right here. And I already prepared a basic character setup using this asset pack. You can always read up the code, I'm gonna put it on GitHub. But for now we will focus on the feedback of our collectibles. In this case we will use apples. But first I will only use one sprite and we can just start and look how it feels like already. And as you can see, it does not look like you can collect it and is not responsive at all. To fix that, we start by animating the sprite. We already got the sprite sheet, and so we can just start animation already in Godot with the animated sprite node. And if you look now, it looks way more lively and probably a little bit more collectible, but still not quite there yet. To make games feel juicy, you generally just add little by little adjustments until it feels juicy enough for you. We already added animation, now we are going for sound and more visual feedback. But before that, we are going to make sure that we can collide with the apple, so we can collect it, and for that we use the collision box and area 2D. As you can see, now we can collect it, but it still there's no visual feedback or audio feedback for the player. Here I just duped the apples so I don't have only one shot per test, and I can collect many of the apples at once. Now, so we can get a sound effect, I'm going to add an audio stream player. I already prepared a sound effect from the website freesound.org, and I'm going to link it in the description. Maybe you notice we are using the audio stream player and not the audio stream player 2D. The 2D one gives you a positional feedback, but for 2D games we don't really need that, or at least in this case not. Do not forget to link your audio file to your audio stream player or you won't hear anything. You have to bind it as a stream attribute to the top right. And as you can hear, it's working. We got an auditory feedback. And for the next step, we are going to address the visual feedback. The asset pack comes with a collection FX. By that I mean like a visual effect for collecting something up. Here you can see it. It's only 5 frames. And what I didn't notice in time of recording, there was no empty frame. So you will shortly see why that is a problem, but we can later fix that easily. My general workflow for visual effects is that I like to create scenes in preparation, which I then can load into my holder objects, if you want to call it like that. So the apple has a reference on the collected FX template, which I created. That's a scene is linked. And then I can just instantiate them if I need them. And here you can see what I talked about before. There's still like, the animation is still playing and not getting removed. But an easy fix for that is to just go to the sprite sheet and you can just add an empty frame at the end. And that makes it like vanish completely. Keep in mind that the scene is still living, but you just can't see it. If you want to remove it completely, you can use a timer as a node, or you can use a signal callback to remove it after the animation finished. But for this video I'm not going to remove them, because that's not the focus of this video. While it already works pretty well for a game and you could just call it a day now, I am going to add another effect because I like effects. And I'm going to show you which one. For this I like to call it vanish effect, and with that I mean like the collectible not just disappearing but slowly vanishing to the top. You will see in a moment what I mean by that. And for that we are going to use tweens. Tweens are very good if you want to animate something dynamically in code without using the animation player and without pre-made animations. If you have any questions about the code, which you can see, just feel free to ask in the comments. But But generally I'm just creating scenes and instantiating them on the position where my object is. And after that I disable most components so they just disappear. So the animation already works, but it's still not quite the same frame on which the pickup happens if you look closely. That's just a minor detail I'm going to fix as well. We can just apply the same frame from the pickup to our vanish effect. Keep in mind the vanished effect is just another sprite which is independent of the apple. The apple just disappears, its visibility gets turned off, and the other apple is rising to the top. But that's not all we want to achieve. We want also to make a fade out effect, and for that we can use the same tween, and when we chain parallel as a function call to it, we can tween another property at the same time, and for that I'm going to tween the modulate property, and we just fix the alpha channel value. Essentially the alpha channel of the modulate is going to 0 in 0.6 seconds. That's what the code says there. And to top it off we can add a transition and easing. We use trans bounce and ease out for this cool effect right here. And I would say that looks way more collectible and way juicier than what we had in the beginning. That's it already. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also feel free to ask any question in the comments. Also, as a side note, I am going to soon release a book for beginners. So if you want to learn to code but do not know where to start, look no further and stay updated.